Hi guys, it's Crystal City Girl Homestead, and it's time for supper. Now, I am going to make a soup tonight. It's very cold out anyway, so soup weather. But I am but not following the directions. So what I'm going to do differently is, I'm actually going to make this so I can use my canned foods. And so you could too, or you could do it fresh. I will put the recipe in if you want to do fresh. Then you can. So the first thing it says, 2 small or 1 large onion. I would say this constitutes as a large onion. And I'm not going to have to cook it as long as it says, because if I did, my sweet potatoes would be mush, and we don't want that. So I'm going to dice this up. I was going to wait for Tom, but it's getting later, so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and get it made up. We'll get this chopped up in there. It's already good if it asks for this much onion. Tom might not agree, but I will. Actually, no, through the years of being with me, he's gotten used to the onion thing, so he doesn't say much anymore. Now, it does say to use some olive oil, so I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil. And I'm just going to use 1 pan, so I'm going to use the same pan to cook the onions in as I'm going to use to cook the soup in. So those half of the onion. We don't need it that high. Then we're going to cut the other half. So how's your Friday going? I hope you've liked our pantry meals. I can't ask enough. Could you please make sure you hit the like button, because for some reason, I don't know why, but my likes are getting really low, and that's honestly what pushes us out into YouTube land. They like to mess with us a lot. Alright. So now we're going to let that fry up a little bit. And I'm going to sub a few things and do a few things differently. So, I'm going to let this start to cook up a little bit. I'm going to move my camera so we can watch what we're doing. Alright, so now we're going to add, it asks for 3 cloves of garlic. We're going to add a nice heaping teaspoon and a half, probably. And then it says to add 2 teaspoons of paprika. And 1 teaspoon of cumin. It should be a little bit spicy right there. It also says a tablespoon of finely chopped ginger. I'm going to do maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground up ginger. And then it doesn't say anything about adding pepper, but we're going to add pepper to ours. And it says 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now with this, it asks for raw sweet potatoes. And I don't have any raw ones. So we're going to do things just a little bit different. It asks for fire roasted tomatoes, which I don't have. So we're just going to use a pint of my diced tomatoes. It also says a 15-ounce black beans undrained, but I drained them. We're going to get that stirred up a little bit. That looked delicious. Then it says 2 to 3 cups of broth, and you can use any kind you want. I'm going to use my veggie broth. There's 2 cups right there. So now what I'm going to do differently, because normally this would be the time that you heat it up, you boil it, because you want your sweet potatoes to cook. But since mine are raw, since mine are cooked already, what I'm going to do is bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to add my sweet potatoes and see if I want to add more of the broth or whatever I want to. So right now, I'm just going to take a little taste. That's pretty good, actually. I'm going to put a little bit of salt with it. I'm so glad you guys got me talked into doing my own vegetable broth. I've never used it much until I made my own, and now I'm like, bring me up some more of my veggie broth. That looks really good. But you know what? I'm going to use all my broth. There's no point in putting just a cup or so back in the refrigerator. And I think it'll be beautiful. It'll be wonderful. You know, I was thinking, Tom accidentally brought up those spicy black beans. I should have left those up here, because I think that would have been good, since I didn't have the roasted tomatoes. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then I'm going to add my own home canned sweet potatoes to it, just so that they can warm up and whatever. I think this is going to turn out to be a great meal. I'll be back. I decided after looking at it, I want to make it just a little bit heartier of a soup. So I found a can of dark red kidney beans, and I drained them, and I'm going to add that to it. Who says you can't add whatever you want? I think this is going to be beautiful, having the 2 different beans in there. I think it'll be wonderful. Now, because it's nice and hot, I'm going to add those sweet potatoes to it. Alrighty. So let's get that all mixed in there. Alright, let me get a spoon here. Look at that soup. Nice big chunks of sweet potatoes. The different beans and onions, and oh. I think it's going to be delightful. So now it asks for half a lime juice. I don't have a lime, but I do have juice. So I'm going to put a little bit of lime juice in there. And we're going to stir that into it. Not sure what the lime juice does, but what the heck. While in Rome, go for it. Look at that. Ho, 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 ho. See if we can find some. Oh, it's got sweet potatoes. It's got, look at that. It's got a little bit of everything in there. And I suppose if you wanted to add hamburger or chicken or anything like that to it, you could do that. Mmm. That is so tasty. Mmm. I really can't taste the lime in it, but I can taste everything else. That's good. So, Tom should be home shortly, and then we're going to do a taste test. And this is some really good soup. And it should warm us up from our cold day outside. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
You're back.
Yeah.
And there's your soup. And then I got those pretzel dinner rolls today. So I figured we could use those to dip into our soup. And I added some kidney beans to them. What do you think?
It's good.
Tastes good from it being nice and hot, cold out, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Those are good rolls, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
I wish I'd have gotten more than just the one. Want to try another bite of your soup?
Sure.
And I used all my own canned goods except for the kidney beans because I didn't want to go downstairs and get any.
Got plenty of them down there.
Yeah. I think that broth tastes amazing.
About 12 jars.
I know.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, that's very good.
You like those rolls too?
Yep.
I wished I'd have gotten a couple of packages because they were only 99 cents.
Only 99 cents?
Yeah.
Got a couple more.
I know, but I wasn't sure if we'd like them or not. But, well, I guess we did.
Should have bought one and took one out and tasted it and then went back at it.
No, you can't do that. All right, well, we're going to let him eat. It's been a long day for him. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
Bye, Jack.
Bye.
You guys have a great night.